joke was. Hey everyone, Voyles here with another How the Hell Did I Get Into Film School showcase. Today we're showing the second film that I made with my buddy Todd Nelson, who starred in Cooking with Vegetables, and this video is called... I've never shared this short publicly before, mostly because I'm incredibly embarrassed of it. When we were filming this, all we had was a Canon T3i and one light, one really small light, and no mic or audio equipment, so we just used the mic that was in the camera. Now, as you can see, this takes place outside, and it was on a particularly windy day. I was in a rush. I didn't have a lot of time outside of school. I was getting a degree at the time and writing and directing a play and trying to put together something to submit to film school so that I could try and get in somewhere. So we did this whole film in about an hour to 2 hours on a parking garage in Wichita, Kansas. And we went back one time for reshoots because the footage wasn't that good. Then I edited it all together. I really didn't know a lot at this time outside of what I had done and taught myself personally, and the audio suffered horribly. It was almost unsalvageable, and some of you, after watching this, might decide that it is unsalvageable. Now, this is because, like I said, we didn't have any audio equipment. I did everything I could at the time to try and clean it up, you know, just teaching myself things. Yeah. So basically, I filmed it. It's a script that I was pretty proud of at the time, but it really just didn't come out the way I wanted it. We had no way of doing VFX. They're pretty horrible. But I decided to use this as sort of a litmus test to see how I would improve over time as a filmmaker, and I figured I would film this again a couple more times, once when I finished film school, and then again a couple of years later, just to see how I improve over time. And for that purpose, I think it's pretty good. Outside of that, it's pretty bad, so again, I've never shared it before, but for the sake of showing you what I made to get into film school, I thought, what the f***? Let's share it. So, without further ado, here it is. Let's just jump right into it.
Hey, Mr. Kent. What brings you up here?
Oh, hey, Jimmy. Just needed to clear my head.
Is that first week?
A bit, but I suppose that's normal for the job.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a little crazy, but you get used to it eventually. You might even start to crave it like Miss Lane does. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to come have a seat with me?
No, thanks. I'm not great with heights.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you grow up in the nation's largest consumer of padded bras.
Padded bras?
Yeah, you know, it's so flat.
Oh, I definitely haven't heard that one before.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you.
Oh no, it was very witty, Jimmy. I just, I used the office humor unit. Guess I feel a little wet behind the ears.
What's been bothering you? Not fitting in yet?
No. Well, yes. A little bit, maybe. It's mostly this story Perry has me. This attack over Syria has the potential to shape our policy toward the Middle East for the next decade. It could be a pivotal moment. Perry wants me to write a conservative opinion piece on the matter. No one's reporting the events simply as they occurred. It's only been 2 hours, and yet the air is already completely clouded with think pieces, and no one's telling the public the plain facts of what happened. What's so wrong with me just wanting to report the news?
You know, I actually got into photography because of my grandfather. He didn't spent most of his work overseas during World War II. He covered so much of the war, but he was really only remembered for a few photos. A lot of people have seen those photos, though. He was even kind of famous for them. I wanted to be able to do something like that. Capture a moment that everyone would remember. Now people see hundreds of photos every day. With digital photography, burst shooting, and post cleanup, no single photo ever seems to matter. Some of those old photos, though, you knew they only had a couple of shots to get it right. And you can feel that when you look at those photos. You know you're looking at a perfect moment caught in time. And it connects you to it. Times move on, though, and you gotta compromise to meet the demand. It sucks, but that's how you stay alive in the game. Compromise.
Maybe, but is that how it should be? When we're desperately vying for every click and view, are we even bringing our readers anything important? We're constantly trying to shape public opinion before we even told them what they're facing. Is it any surprise the business is slowly losing money? Then we're even more desperate, willing to try any stunt or headline just to get people looking for it. All the while, we slide further and further into the pit. Maybe it's our own hands around our throats. Maybe we're killing the paper. For decades, the planet stood as a symbol of truth. Right here, in the heart of the city. People looked to it in hard times when the world around them seemed darkness. People looked to the planet for some semblance of truth or clarity in the chaos around them, the depression, the world wars, the conflicts in Vietnam and Korea. People looked to this paper for guidance, the ideals that upheld when it seemed there could be none. Now we run whatever slop will make a buck. People eat it up. Sure. I never felt more unsure about the world around me. What if one paper still stood for something? What if that paper chose to report the truth that people needed to know rather than every opinion they wanted to hear? Maybe the news could mean something. Maybe people would look up to that paper once again for the ideals it chose to uphold rather than sell. Maybe that's what everyone's so desperate for. Something worth believing.
Jesus, Clark, you picked all that up in Kansas?
Well, Jimmy, sometimes farmers make the best philosophers.
You made a believer out of me. Now you just gotta convince the bigwig downstairs.
Well, that's the problem. You know how he is better than me, Jimmy. He doesn't budge.
You know, maybe you should just run with that as a group. I think you're definitely on something. Sometimes pay respect someone's backbone to stick with their guts. I mean, it worked for Miss Lane. Well, once.
You think so, Jimmy?
Yeah, Mr. Kim. I really do.
Guess we'll have to see about the courage for it. Everything okay, Jimmy?
What?
No, you really shouldn't sit so close to the edge. It could be dangerous.
You know, I think you might be right.
Well, have a good night, Jimmy.
That's probably a problem. Anyways, later this week, I'm going to upload the actual film that I submitted. It's a slightly longer version than what I submitted because they had time constraints, so I cut some of the jokes out, but I put them back in. Later this week, I'm going to upload the entire showcase of what I sent them, just for posterity, and just so if anyone wants to see how I did it and I got in, how you can go about it and try. Later on, I might talk about the whole experience, just because I don't think it's as hard to get in as it would seem, and I have some thoughts about that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time with some actually new content. Alright, everybody. I gotta go to the hospital.